you talked about full of energy foods, freshly prepared. Is there any particular type of food, apart from dairy and chicken, like that people should avoid to eat in terms of, say, which might affect their immunity, or they can't mix because there has been a trend right now that you should not mix your melons with other fruits or something like that. So, are there any restrictions on that front?
So, going plant-based is the step number one.
Right,
But even in
right,
plant-based, there are a lot of junk foods. So we
right.
have to pay attention that we don't need those junk foods.
Mm,
It could be some cookies and some
mm.
soft drinks, which are all plant-based, but they are
Plant-based.
junk. But they have no
Right.
energy, no living energy. We do not want
Mm,
those. That's for
mm,
sure. So
mm.
go more plant-based. You don't want eggs and chicken wings that are loaded
Mm,
with hormones, and then you don't want beef,
mm,
and you don't want other red meats, and all those
mm,
have to be avoided for the reasons that they are not living foods anymore. Then come to the plant-based. Go more whole food, minimally processed. So, for
mm,
example, coconut.
mm,
Coconut, when you take out the fiber and make milk out of it, it's going to
mm,
be more concentrated. But if you eat
mm,
coconut as a whole in chutney,
mm,
then you get the fat with the fiber. So that is more
mm.
wholesome. You have
Right.
orange and orange juice. If you want
Mm,
to sit and, you see oranges on the dining table, you all will sit and eat, you'll have one. But if you
mm.
have orange juice, you'll have three oranges in it,
Right.
and minus the fiber. So
Right.
as close to nature as possible
As possible.
with minimum
Wonderful.
processing.
Mm.
This is what
Right.
I recommend.
Right.
We are Indian people. We are roti, sabji, dal, chawal people. No
Right.
matter where we travel, anywhere in the world, I have
Mm.
my sometimes sandwiches, some English breakfast. But one time I want to have some roti sabji. I look for Indian restaurant in the town. Please,
Right.
can someone serve me roti sabji? If I've come home after a 10-day trip, I want my roti sabji. So
Right.
that's in alignment with our Indian culture.
Mm.
माँ के हाथ की बनाई हुई रोटी का स्वाद
Mm.
एक अलग ही होता है. That
Totally.
nurtures because Ma, has prepared with lot of love. My
Love.
children will eat. We always
Mm.
say, माँ के जैसा नहीं बनाती है तू. So what is माँ के जैसा food?
Yeah.
It's the lot of
Yeah.
love and devotion, her unconditional support, and
Mm.
even a support where she may not eat, but she will give it priority. So that's so
Right.
unconditional. This is
Right.
the food that nurtures us, that strengthens our immune system. And I recommend to take a lot of fresh fruits, at least one
Mm.
portion every single day. Have
Mm.
at least two portions of salads on every day in your meal. If you like your
Okay.
roti sabji, fair enough. We are Indian people. We love this. This satisfies. Have the grains also in organic as far as possible, and
Mm-hmm.
minimally processed, not polished. Don't have polished rice. Have whole rice whenever you
Mm.
want to have, because it has the fiber in it. It gives the
Mm.
satisfaction. Then you want to have
Mm.
dals, pulses. All of these are minimally processed. Just cook
Mm.
them in the and you can sprout them also. You make
Mm.
chaat out of it. There's a lot of
Mm.
variety. There are nuts and
Mm.
seeds. So
Mm.
what I do not want to displace people from their culture. They should eat what
Mm.
they are eating, but just make it a healthier version and
Right.
make everybody eat the same, so that they
Mm.
suddenly don't realize that you are eating something from planet P or something, plant based or something. No,
Mm.
you're eating the same thing, you just eating, making the healthier version. So we make sweets, we make ice cream, we have dairy alternatives. We can have almond milk, soy milk, coconut
Mm.
milk. I make
Mm.
peanut and rice combination curd, and I make kadhi, Gujarati kadhi, or we make
Mm.
raita, we make
Mm.
buttermilk, we make curd
Mm.
rice. Everything is tasting extremely
Right.
decent, same like a mainstream, but
Right.
minus all the animal component in it, which has hormones,
Totally.
antibiotics, a lot of chemicals,
Mm.
and the emotions. So you don't want.
Right.
And then the plant-based food is also anatomically and physiologically aligned to our body. So
Body.
it is assimilated. It also provides all those elements that we want.
Mm-hmm.
The same sun, the same rain, the same air, the same water that I have eaten, and it should be easier on our body. This, the foods which travel thousands of miles,
Mm-hmm.
apples from New Zealand, something from South America, these have come from a very different terrain. Why would you want to have them? Because they are not going to be easier on our system. You have olives, coming from Spain, but they are good for the Spanish people. Let's look for the oil which is regionally grown if you ever want to use some cold press oil. So look for regional foods, seasonal
Mm-hmm.
foods, also culturally aligned. If you're in South India, you want to have curd rice, you want to have dosa, you want to have idli. You're in Gujarat, you want to have rotli. You go to Rajasthan, you want to have thick roti. Just make sure that it doesn't have any animal products.
Mm-hmm.
There is a
Right.
other balancing that we do, that if you are in Rajasthan, it's a
Mm-hmm.
very dry weather. People are very hooked on ghee. They will
Mm-hmm.
just take one wati, pura ghee usme dalenge, then they want to have it. That has been their culture. But knowing what the industry is about now, the dairy industry, you want to replace that ghee with the coconut ghee. Anything
Right.
that's healthier, you can use it and still get your lubrication. In the dry, harsh climate of Rajasthan, you want to have more nuts, more fat to feel very lubricated. So we also
Right.
have to do this regional. In Mumbai, a fellow comes from Rajasthan, now he can't have that ghee, one vati.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need it. The weather is
Right.
different here. Now you
Mm-hmm.
eat what is in the Maharashtra weather aligned.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I also do, as per season, as per the region, as per your genetic makeup, as per your ethnic background, but try and always be more wholesome, plant-based and fresh, that we always say, with minimum processing.
Right.
You
Wonderful.
need like any
I
particular foods or something like to be named? I generally don't like to name them, but just eat
no.
all fruits and all
Yeah,
veggies and
just wanted a category what can be eaten. So you said fruits has to be included one time a day,
absolutely.
twice twice raw salads a day. That would be very good for immunity building as well.
Yeah,
You
because
talked.
the raw component should be about
Hmm,
at least starting with 30 to 40% of your entire day's meals, which is your living
okay,
foods. If you can digest more,
okay,
you can increase it to 50% also. You just have to see as per your constitution. If you are a
right.
bulky, heavy fellow, then you
Hmm,
better eat more salads because you need to lose weight. But if you are a
hmm,
thin person, then you need to add some more fats because you want to put on weight. So we also
right,
tweak according to the individual constitution. There's no one
right.
diet that fits all, though.
Right, right. Totally, I agree. When you talked about that Rajasthani dal bati, I had water in my mouth. I was salivating. I'm from Rajasthan. I love that dish. So
Yes, I
now I
know.
just when we eat it now, we sometimes just have to eat it without the ghee. So yeah,
And you can
uh,
use the plant-based ghee which is available,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it just there's no difference. It tastes equally
yeah,
good.
yeah. No, definitely. Also,
Also, the
doctor, I'm
food
going
has
to
to be tasty. Food has to be
right,
tasty and visually. You
right,
will also eat with your
appealing.
eyes. You
Right.
eat with your nose because you
Nose.
smell the food.
Mm,
You touch the food, and then you
right.
taste the
You
food.
taste it.
So you eat
Right.
with the senses also. It can't be
Yeah.
boring. It has to be
Right.
full of colors.
Right. Totally. Totally with you on that. And I'm going to definitely ask you for that peanut and rice curd recipe because I've tried that peanut curd recipe so many times. It just doesn't work because the next morning something happens and I miss that curd. So, but milk I've nailed. So I'll text you for that.
Sure, sure.
Uh,
Most
uh,
welcome.
So, coming next to this was immunity part. What about gut? If you can shed some light on what is gut health, gut microbiome,
Right.
and yeah, we'll start with what is gut microbiome, and then how does it f like help our body stay fit?
Absolutely. So, gut. starts right from the mouth to
Okay.
the anus, that the whole thing is your digestive system. The
Mm-hmm.
bacteria in your mouth is also very important. The
Mm-hmm.
saliva that comes in your mouth for the first stage of digestion is also
Mm-hmm.
very important. That's your gut health. Your mouth will smell if your intestines are not healthy. If
Mm-hmm.
the bacteria in your intestines are not healthy, your mouth is going to smell. So it's the first, it's a mirror. If there's a coating on your tongue, that tells also how is the health of your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's very important. I always check. मुंह खोलो, दिखाओ तुम्हारा tongue. Small children, if they have a lot of cough, fever, I just ask them to open their mouth. The tongue is usually thickly coated. And what are you
Mm-hmm.
eating these days? Maybe some junk pizza or sandwiches. And the undigested food particle in your intestine are going to be digested by millions of bacteria staying over there. When they can't handle all the toxins that are coming, then some of it will be seen as the layer. The tongue is only reflecting the first part. The layer is
First part.
right through and through your entire system, particularly your large intestine. So the gut health, if we just focus straight onto the large intestine, then there are trillions of microorganisms living there.
Mm-hmm.
They are, even our stool is 90% all microorganism, and it's all the decomposing all the food that we have eaten, and that's where the bulk comes out. So these microorganisms are forming about 70% part of our immune system. It's like
Okay.
this. It's
Mm.
like this, that this is your gut and this is your lining of the gut. And the bacteria are like colonies living inside your gut. They're living there forever. Now, they are our friends. They are very important for cell to cell communication in our body. If you have healthy bacteria, they are going to do a lot of your work for your immunity. If wrong food comes, it's going to handle it. If wrong bacteria and viruses come, these fellows are going to handle it. They are our friends. What happens when we take antibiotics? Antibiotics end up killing all of them. Even our friends are dead, even the pathogens are also dead. So now we have to rebuild this, lining and the intestine flora. We call it as microflora.
Wow.
So because of over hygienic conditions, constantly washing our hands, putting chlorine in water, all these
Mm.
healthy bacteria are dying.
Mm.
As much as up to 90% of our gut microbiome is lost, unfortunately.
Wow.
We have to have biodiversity. You can't just have a probiotic drink and satisfy yourself, मुझे सारे healthy bacteria मिल गए. There are only a few strains. It's not
Right.
just that. There are
Right.
many varieties of bacteria that you need in your gut.
Need.
They are all doing different functions. So we call it as biodiversity. And remember, they are symbiotic bacteria. They are your friends. You need them, and they are the first line of defense.
Mm.
When you kill them, then a virus like this comes, your immunity is down, you're going to get it. So you don't kill your friends with the foods that you eat, with the antibiotics that you take, with the pesticides. So now what you do to the soil, you kill the pest. You put herbicides, weedicides, you put all these fertilizers, and you try to kill the microbiome of the earth. Then you take the food that also does not have any rich soil bacteria. Then you eat it and you also destroy the same biodiversity in your intestine. There's a
Wow.
weak earth, there is a weak food, and there's a weak intestine. The gut health is also down, very down, because your friends are gone. We need to regenerate this microbiome as an emergency basis now. If we don't do it, we are going to be doomed because they are so closely linked to our own immunity. Because they are the ones they are going to fight. If they are absent, all the harmful agents are going to cross through the
Cross.
lining of your intestine.
Mm.
The lining can
True.
become porous, you can have leaky gut, and the stuff that your blood should never see will start seeing. The blood in the
Mm,
blood, body doesn't know what is this coming. Your immunity is already down, can't handle. Somewhere in your body, you will hide them. Some
mm,
organs. So you have fatty liver. Your liver is loaded with fat, is
mm,
hiding some toxins. The fat is only
mm,
hiding those toxins. And you try to lose weight, you don't unless you also detox. So this is becoming very dangerous. You get a lot of autoimmune disorders. It right starts
mm.
from your gut.
Right.
First, if you want to treat any autoimmune disorder, you restore
Mm,
the gut health as the first thing.
mm,
You restore the lining, and
mm,
then the job is done. All other medications, everything else is done, is not going to help. Even when you go on a 100% plant-based diet, you have to wait
mm.
for quite some time till this flora is completely
Process. Mm,
regenerated.
mm,
It really takes time. It's not easy. And if you eat junk food, you will have
mm.
junk bacteria. Because
Right.
the very simple rule of nature, जिसका खाना है वो आ जाएगा.
Mm.
The unhealthy
Wonderful.
bacteria, if unhealthy food is available, because that's the
Mm,
way of eating it up and clearing it. If there's
mm.
healthy food, then healthy bacteria.
Right.
So you cannot have just a drink and thinking that मेरा gut clean हो जाएगा. नहीं होगा. You
Mm,
have to have healthy food. And
mm,
then now bacteria is breaking, eating, it's all healthy, living foods, fine. You have all those
mm,
bacteria thriving. Many patients come with worms problem. Routinely, moms go to the pediac, and the pediac gives every 6 months some deworming medication, which are
mm,
quite toxic, and they think, it will kill all the worms. But why the worms are there in the first place? Your
mm,
boy is eating too many chocolates and too much of sugar and junk
mm.
food, and that's a great environment for the worms to live in. So
Live
they
in.
become big, they thrive, and now you have tummy ache. And one time you
Mm.
take some dose, you are okay for a month, and then again
And
the
then you.
garbad starts
Right.
because they
Right.
regenerate because you are giving
Right.
the food.
Right.
So this is the
You're
part
just
of your
cutting
gut
the
health.
branches, you're not feeding the root. That's the,
Exactly. So
yeah.
you do not kill the germs or bacteria or a
Mm.
virus or a worm or a fungi. You change the environment where these cannot thrive. That
Thrive.
is the only
Wonderful.
solution.
Mm. Got it.